Hello everybody, John here, and today onto the garage we're finishing off the reversing camera install. Just to catch anybody up from last time who didn't see what we did, I've mounted the camera in the plinth and sorted it out so the wiring can never foul and comes out inside the boot lid. While I was at it, I removed a double stack of horrible number plates, and at the time I had no idea why there was this stack of number plate holders. I do now, because I've made a small error. It's not a biggie. So what we had was this horrible, disgusting, distorted, no idea why still, almost looks like it's been a fire, number plate. In this clipped together hinged number plate mount, and then it was loose at the time. I've now pop riveted it to the car like it should be, the metal frame, but should have been there, and that was stacked on top of that with the number plate stacked on top of that. And I thought, how stupid. It's almost like I want this frame but I don't want to lose the old frame, so I'll hide it behind it badly. Don't know. Anyway, I ordered up my new plates. They've come. Here we are. And I have ordered plates for an XK8 before, so I know that I got this right previously, but in my haste, I don't know, I forgot that XK8 rear plates are not standard size. XK8 plates are bigger, and this frame is wide that way, particularly compared to this plate. It's an odd sizing, but it's probably about 1 centimetre bigger all round than the standard plates. In fact, I've written it on the wall. That's the actual aperture in the base of the plate. 123 millimeters tall, 523 millimeters wide. It's probably not sold as a plate that size. It's, you know, give or take 2 mil. And you can get quite a lot of shaped plates for Jaguar and Land Rover products. It's just a thing that seems to be on those cars more than any others I'm aware of, where you can do away with the mounts altogether and have a full form plate that sort of fills the hole up. And on some cars, Jaguar XF, S-Type particularly, the shape of that aperture is a little more oval or rhomboid, and a shaped plate looks really good rather than a rectangle. Why Jag went for very slightly bigger on the back here than everybody else when it's a rectangular aperture, I can only imagine is down to it's a Jag, can't have standard plates. Anyway, so I think what really happened is the previous owner bought plates the way I did, went to fit them for, oh, that doesn't fit, then fitted it in a mount that's the right size, and then fitted that on top to make the whole thing look right. I need the car in a few days, so it's got to go back together. So all I'm doing, I'm using the plate as is, and I'll order some new ones later. But yeah, take note, they're not the right size if they're standard for the standard Jag mounting. And there we are. It doesn't look disgusting, and I will get a full-size Jag plate made up to match the original mount a bit later. So here we are back inside the car. Now I've got all the wiring. It's got to go to the camera here. It's only a single cable actually. It looks complicated, it's not. And excuse me, at the moment it's tucked underneath the center console, and that's going to do for now. I can take the center console off another day and route that properly and do some other little mods that I want to do under there, which I'm not going to talk about just at the moment, but could be useful for a few of us as well. So I want to get this cable neatly, securely, safely back over into that corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this great cable management here that keeps everything safe and tidy. You can remove it very easily. I don't think I'll actually need to, but it's just a case of removing this plastic 10mm nut, and you can lift it and move the whole thing around. But I think I can tuck it in with some of the wiring. So I'm going to get on and see what I can do. There we go, finally. That took inordinately long for a simple task. Get my trusty Nipexes going. If you're only ever going to get one set of side cuts, these are brilliant. If you've never tried them, they're just fundamentally better. I think it's the hardness of the blades. So you probably could damage these, whereas you won't with your average toffee ones. You very slowly deform them. Those, I think, will let go one day because the blade goes bang. They're so sharp, so hard, they just don't lose their edge. These are like cloth tape bands. There we go. That's threaded through. Put plastic nut back on. Now we're all the way through to there. And I took the wire in close to the loom and behind it. Okay, so I'm quite pleased with that. Nobody's going to know there's some non-standard stuff in there except me. And we've left our wire here. And the reason for leaving it there is I want to get through into the boot. And there's a hole there, which is going to be useful to us. And this is the outer of a bicycle brake cable. And I find these fabulous for pulling wires through, finding routes, etc. I have already obviously positioned it, but I'm going to pull it back out and show you. Let's pull it through. There you go. So this one's quite short, relatively speaking. It's just an outer from a bicycle brake cable. It's smooth, it's flexible, it's stiff enough to push. It's just a brilliant tool for finding your way through vehicles. And I'd already sort of plunged this hole just to make sure I could get it through easily to the boot area, and it's an ideal position. Unused. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to find a grommet that will fit in there after I've installed the cable. I've had a rummage around and I've got the perfect one for the job. This one is a 10 and a bit. It's rubber, it's hard to measure. I'll say 11mm OD and approximately 9.5, 9.75mm ID. This is a 10mm hole. I'd love to say, but you know, I order these up in right sizes, but that would be absolute nonsense. No, I buy bulk packs of cheap selections of grommets, blind caps, all that sort of thing, and then I've always got some assortment to look through. I'll put a link in the description below to similar, or you can go to our new Amazon store and see where I get these from. But cheap as chips, and I need to push that in before I do anything more. And the purpose of this, perfect, absolutely perfect, is to stop the wiring from rubbing on bare metal and therefore potentially failing at some stage. So now I get my bendy brake cable, or Bowden cable outer if you want to be precise, and I'm going to thread that through my new grommet. There we go. And give it a bit of a wriggle. And with the trim panels removed, so just pull your boot floor out, pull out this side carpeted area, and then you can pull this panel down. It's only held up with Velcro, and it's tucked, this flange is tucked up behind the metalwork. You can see the end of my cable. So that's good. That means getting the wiring through to where I want, which is here, is going to be relatively easy. So now we can attach our cable, and then we'll be able to pull it through using that bit of brake cable outer. Literally going to face it onto the end, like so. And there it is, safe and sound. So there we are. So we got the cable through, no problem at all. Next, we want to come up through that grommet. So easiest way to do that is to pull the whole grommet through. That's it. Yeah, out she comes. There we go, look. And you can see the armoured protection on it. It's great. We're going to want to follow this route here. So if we just unsnap those bits, those legs, I can keep trying to jump back on. There we go. From there, you can see our stress protection device. And with that grommet out, I can pass this up from the bottom and get the wire into this area. Now I want to leave the end of my red or reversing signal wire in the boot area. So you don't want to pull that all the way through. Okay, if you get a pair of circlip pliers that expand as you squeeze, you can slide them inside the grommet. Mine have got interchangeable noses, so I've just been and selected the longest, thinnest nose. Probably would have been a good idea to spray some lube inside here because it's gripping quite strongly. But obviously you can stretch the grommet quite considerably with these. That's the plan. Yeah, I'm going to just spray some oil on that. That's better. That's gone all the way through this time. Yeah, and using those you can easily stretch the grommet, hopefully enabling us to pass this connector through it from the back. Let's try the other way. Might be easier from an access point of view. After much wrestling, I've switched to pushing the bicycle brake cable out of through again, taping it to the cable and spraying some lithium grease inside the grommet. See how that goes. Come on. It goes well. I should have done that from the beginning, shouldn't I? Because before the edit, because I won't leave all this in, I think that's taken me an hour. But first go like that, straight through. Now just going to repeat the exercise with this grommet. Okay, so we've got the armoured cable and our two cables coming out through that grommet. Also got them going back up through this grommet to here. I've pulled a little bit more armour this way, and as a temporary thing, just going to add a little bit of cable tieage just to get my route correct. So these are going to be snipped back off. I've sorted things out. Okay, then we've got this piece that protects the wire on the hinge and keeps it a nice steady curve. There we go. And what I want to achieve here is to move that brake inside this protective clip so as to reinforce it. There we go. Sorry if this isn't well filmed. A combination of very awkward. Plus I've got quite a bad back at the moment. Just come back from the doctors actually, so if you think the continuity's all over the place, i.e. my shirt changed, it's because, yeah, I've just been to the doctors. Okay, that's good. Our cover on here. And then that can snap into place here. Like so. Yeah, so I've just made it a bit closer to correct, because the cables are still going to go through here and come out of this hole. So I'm sticking with my bit of bicycle cable, because it's easy to see, reasonably easy to direct. There we go. I can see it. I can grab the end of it and pull that through. Like that. So again, just some tidying up to do in that area. The only place I've not really run through the existing routing is through this armour, because it's just not big enough. But we're out here, and now there's nowhere to thread it to other than over the back of his. There we go. So it's time to remove my bicycle cable. Okay, it's looking good. Here's the tail from the camera. Here's the tail from the display. What we're going to do now is cable tie back the connector and excess so it doesn't tap on the bodywork. What I've got is some D-section adhesive backed foam seal. Hoping that shows up focus wise. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to split the back of a length, but it's going to go on here, then it can go over these cables and hold them to there. And literally as simple as find the length, about that long. There we go. And now I'm just going to cut the back like so. Put the wiring inside. And then I can stick it to the top of this stress relief clip. Add a cable tie to the end. And what I'll be doing, I probably won't bore you guys with it, is once I've finished this off, I'll eliminate a lot of the cable ties and just wrap everything carefully with some cloth loom tape, so it looks more original equipment. That's the top half done, just to give you the idea. Yeah, I'll carry on tidying that up, but don't make for great film. That is actually the job complete, with the exception of getting a signal to this, which would automatically bring up the reverse cam every time that you put it in reverse. But I'm going to leave that for a separate video because I've got other things to do. And leaning over the boot is giving my back jip at the moment. So I'm going to leave it there and put the trim back, cover things up, and maybe pick you up another day looking at picking up the reversing light signal and some other bits and pieces that I've got planned to do, little mods and improvements on my XK8. Hope this has been helpful. If you're interested in the same Carpuride rear camera and or smart screen as I've got, then I'll put a link in the description below this video, and any of the tools and bits and pieces that I use, go to my Amazon shop. So that's Amazon.com/shop/to-the-garage, and you'll find links to everything there. Don't forget, if you haven't already sent in your photos for the photo competition this year, send them in before the end of this month, before the 31st of July, midnight GMT. john@tothegarage.co.uk. If you just go to Amazon.com/shop/to-the-garage, and I'll put that link in the description below so that you can just click on it. It takes you to a To The Garage area of Amazon that is categorized into hand tools, power tools, gadgets and gizmos, things specifically the XK8, etc. that I've bought from Amazon over the years, so that you can follow the same links and have a look, see how much those cost at the moment. Nice little feature. Thank you, Amazon. If you're enjoying our channel, then don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell icon so you get notifications of new videos. And please give us a thumbs up or thumbs down, and you can share the videos.
And below the video is always the area where you can comment and get involved with the chat.